Hello guys, and welcome back to another watch review. Now today I really have not done a full thorough review of one of the watches in my collection that I really like the most, and that is the Breitling Super Avenger. Now, before getting this started, let me just say that this bezel is not the original bezel that comes with the watch. This bezel was added on by myself, and it is an aftermarket diamond bezel. The bezel is actually 3.2 carats of VS2 and G color diamonds in a micro pave setting. Now the actual bezel it was set into is still an original Breitling Super Avenger bezel. I do have the other bezel and I do switch it out sometimes, but I just love the classic look with the diamonds. It really makes this watch stand out and pop even more than it does. Now let's get to the dimensions of this watch. We do have a 48mm diameter, and it's pretty large, but in my opinion it really looks good on the watch. It was meant to be a large flashy watch, and when I purchased the watch, that was one of the main things that caught my eye, is the wrist presence. This watch looks extremely nice on the wrist. I love it, and it was one of the first luxury watches I bought back in 2010 when I started really getting into watches. Now I've been into watches since I was 14 or 13, but I really started to spend money on watches when I was about 19 years old. Alright, so getting back to specifications, the exact model number of this watch is A13370, and it was produced in 2010, this exact watch right here. It is a full functioning chronograph, and it's running an ETA movement, a Valjoux ETA movement that has been heavily modified by Breitling. It's not your standard ETA movement that you'll find in cheaper Swiss-made watches. There are definitely upgrades done by Breitling to make them more efficient and longer lasting. Now the thickness of this watch is 19mm, and as you see, it's pretty thick. Now the whole case and the bracelet is highly polished, and Breitling loves doing this because it makes their watches really stand out amongst other watches. For example, if you look at an IWC watch, another brand that produces pilot-styled watches, they do a complete brushing on their watches, and in my opinion, Breitling really does it right with the complete polish. It is a scratch magnet, as you see. I've got a lot of scratches, but you know what? When you get this thing polished and looking brand new, it really is something else. I mean, now the crystal is a double-coated, AR-coated sapphire crystal, and it does have that blue when the light hits it, and it looks really nice. Now we do have a date at the 3 o'clock. And then we have your chronograph hand with a nice little red hint. We do have lume on this watch, and the lume is pretty good. It's not amazing, but it's definitely usable. Yeah, I would say. Now the bracelet is pretty simple. It basically just flips up, if I can get under here, and then pops open. We do have the Breitling logo on the flip up. And we also have Breitling on the inside of the clasp right here. And then on the other side, it says Model Despos, Manufacture en Suisse. And it's all done very nicely. Now Breitling's bracelets are extremely comfortable. I would say they're more comfortable than Rolex bracelets. And also more comfortable than Omega bracelets. And the reason for that being is they're very fluid. I mean, they just go with ease. And they don't really stretch. I mean, I've worn this watch regularly for about 6 years. And you can see there's really no play in the bracelet at all. These bracelets are solid. They're great bracelets. And Breitling really is known for making amazing bracelets. In my opinion, they make better bracelets than Rolex. I mean, they need to upgrade the clasp. They really haven't even done that on the Super Avenger 2. It kind of just uses the standard clasp. Of course, we have screws on the bracelet, and I believe 3 or 4 fine adjustments here. Now we do have a screw down case back with a bunch of information on there, and it looks really nice. If I get you a closer look. We have the Breitling in the middle, fully polished on the outer side, and then brushed on the inner side. This is all done very nicely. Of course, we do have solid end links also. Now this is a 24mm bracelet on here. And this watch also does look very nice on a rubber strap or even leather straps. Breitling produces some of the best leather and rubber straps around, in my opinion. And many other people will agree with that. Now the bezel does rotate. So basically we can keep time with this bezel if you want to, like a diving watch. And then you can keep time with the chronograph also. So you have 2 ways to keep track of 2 different times at the same time if you really wanted to. Now some people are probably wondering, this dial actually looks grayish, but it's actually a black dial. And this is the sticks version. There are 2 different types of dial layouts that come on the Super Avenger. This one is the sticks version because you have the little sticks. Now the logo, of course, is hand applied, and it's very nice. It has a B in the middle with the anchor going through it, and the 2 wings on the side. And that's how also you can tell from a fake Breitling. A lot of the fake Breitlings, they don't have that little inner wing on it, they just have the main wing. That's one telltale sign of a fake Breitling. Now the chronograph is very simple. You basically start it with the top right. That hand starts to sweep. Then you stop it with the same button. Then you're going to reset it with the bottom button. And it just flies back there. Now let me get into the accuracy of this watch, and I've worn this watch regularly for 6 years, so I'm going to know the best of what this watch actually is capable of. Basically, this watch gains, I would say, about 4 seconds a day. And when I first got the watch, it was about 2 to 3 seconds, and now it's about 4 seconds. This watch was fully serviced by Breitling about 1 year ago. And that service is very expensive. Now, people might think Breitling is no Patek Philippe, but if you want a full service from Breitling, you're paying $700. And you want to insure your watch, you're paying another $250 to get it there by UPS. That's almost $1,000 to service this watch. So, when you're thinking about buying a luxury watch, you want to know what it's going to cost to service your watch. And videos like this that I make are great and very helpful to you and other people that own watches like these, because you want to know what you're getting into. It's very expensive to service a watch by the company. I even had a couple quotes from local jewelry stores, and they wanted to charge me $400 for a full service. That includes opening up the case back, removing the movement, because when you polish a watch, you have to remove the movement. Because you can't polish a watch and mess up the movement while you're polishing it with the thing going it's going to mess up the movement. You have to take the whole movement out, and they also re-lubricate. They completely disassemble the movement, re-lubricate all the parts. They check all the gaskets. They put it back together, they polish it, and it comes back looking spanking new. Now also, when I sent it to Breitling, they wanted to replace the AR coating. They wanted to recoat it, and they were trying to charge me $200 extra for that. So if I opted in for that option, plus my service option, it was going to be about $1,200. Now this watch I paid, I believe, in 2010, this watch was $5,000. $490 plus tax. And I paid, with the crazy New York State tax at Tourneau, I paid $6,000 cash for this watch. Basically the same as a Rolex Submariner. Pretty close to a Submariner. Now, if you're wondering about the diamond bezel cost me $2,500. So I've spent $6,000 on the watch and $2,500 on the bezel. So that's $8,500 plus the service. That would be $9,500 already put into this watch. And the crazy thing is, these don't really sell for that much on the pre-owned market, like a Rolex would. But I'm not selling this watch anytime soon, or ever, probably. It's definitely a watch that I'm keeping in my collection. It has a great value movement that is pretty close to my Rolex. I would say it's about a second behind the Rolex. The quality of this watch is amazing. You know, I put Breitling alongside with Rolex. That's just my opinion. And Omega. I think those are the three great Swiss brands until you get to the Patek Philippe, Vacheron, and Lange, and all the specialty horology brands. But if you want a luxury sports watch, I go with Breitling, Omega, and Rolex. And they pretty much are the top sellers at all the authorized dealers. The authorized dealer I go to, which is a Tourneau, sells a ton of Breitlings and Rolex. Now that's going to be pretty much it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video of the Breitling Super Avenger with my custom diamond bezel. If you like this video, you can catch me on Instagram at the Watch Addict channel. And you can check out my other videos. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And throw me a comment, give me a like, and share this video with your friends. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace!